G'day YouTube, my name's Lance and welcome to Bundy Bear's Shed. Well, the weather report. It's been hot. I've just come back from out west. We went away this weekend and my niece Belinda had a 40th birthday party at the Warrulan Hotel, so we took the caravan over for the weekend and had a stay over and yeah, had a few sippies last night at the pub and yeah, had a bit of a laugh and caught up with family and yeah, bullshitted on for a bit. But the weather at the moment's a little bit over 37. So 37 is about 98.5, 99 degrees Fahrenheit. So yeah, it's just under the ton in miles an hour. And yeah, it's a bit warm, a little bit tropical. But anyway, driving back in the car, it was only a 2.5 hour drive back in the car, towing the caravan, and look, it was nice. But when you hop out, you're near keel over just from the heat. But anyway, it was a great weekend, and it's just starting to cool down a little bit now. It's Sunday afternoon, and it's just starting to cool down a bit. And can I see a thermometer? Oh yeah, we're sitting at 38 in the shed here at the moment, so we're about a needle under 40 in the shed really, from what I can see. Humidity is 55% by the play school clock. So anyway, we're doing a bit of sweating, but we did a bit of drinking, so it all evens out. I think, you know, you just got to, life's a balance, isn't it? What you sweat out and what you pour in. So but anyway, it's all been good. Great weekend away, but now we have a little bit of catch up to do. And I wouldn't mind betting there's a storm coming this afternoon. The clouds are building. Yeah, it's starting to get a little bit breezy, so that's a good thing. But what happened this week? Well, I did a bit of purchasing. Now, look, one thing was just a quarter 20 die nut. I had one in my kit, or what I thought was in my kit, but I had 2 UNFs, so I don't know how that happened. Technical error, we'll call it. And so I caught up with that and bought that. Now, on Facebook and a few other places, I've actually seen these little fellas, and they've got a drill bit on them with a metric thread. And the idea is that you can drill into something, and instead of tapping the thread, you drill a clearance, you drill a hole, then you tap the thread, then you put the bolt in. So the idea with these is that you just drill the hole, and as the drill goes in it, you feed it in it's got a spiral tap on it. And look, they're HSS, so I've got a couple of jobs. One job I have is on the new battery box on the white Triton. I've bought a panel there now for putting on the back of it, which gives me a couple of outlets for the fridge, but it gives me a digital voltmeter and things like that. So I had thought of just drilling and tapping it, and I've got a couple of nice little stainless steel bolts to put through. So anyway, I thought I'd try these out. Look, how good they are remains to be seen. I just thought, just for thin metal, you know, up to say, oh well, look, I had in my mind up to 3 mil, which is about 1/8. I thought that'd probably be alright. So we start at 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 and 10. So the big one is 10 by 1.5. We have 8 by 1.25, and these are just the common coarse metric threads. So yeah, 6 by 1. I suppose it's 5 by 0.8. Yep, 4 will be by 0.7. Yep, and 3 by 0.5. So we're going to give them a go, just to try them out and see how they go. I just thought it'd save a step if you can put them on the cordless drill and just feed them through. And it's a reasonable thread, well, that'll do. So it'll be a good thing. So see what happens, see how it goes. But look, right next to me here, I mentioned this last week, and I'll try and bring you around a little bit for it. And I actually went ahead and bought the tool cutter and grinder from Hare and Forbes. I thought about it, and I thought about the benefits that it could offer me, and It's fairly expensive, I suppose, $1,500, but I could find cheaper ones, but the cheaper ones didn't have some of the accessories that this one has. As in, yeah, the holder for the lathe tools and some of the other things like that. So I thought I'd have a look. I had a look on the net to find a bit of info on these and who was using them and what they were doing with them, and I had a look at Stefan's clip, and I was quite impressed with what Stefan can do with it. But there wasn't an awful lot of other in-depth stuff on it. There was stuff in other languages and things like that, but look, I thought for this it'd be okay. For what I want, I was prepared to have a go and do it. This one has the 5C collets, and with the 5C collet set up, I'll just get this out of the packet here. I do have a set of 5C collets, but yeah, you get metric and imperial different collets to go with it, and I actually have 5C square collets and 5C hex collets, so I thought that might be an interesting thing. Yeah, put a bit of steel in a hex one and just see what mischief you can get up to with it. I haven't had a chance to have a play with it yet. I put the screw in and I cleaned some of the muck off it here. That and it had a bit of an adjust on the head and had a bit of a twiddle up around here, and it has a hole here in the middle settings, the far setting with this little rod. When I get it back to 0, I've adjusted to 0. Yeah, and this one here is every 15 degrees, but I noticed there's 2 holes around here that don't have a 15-degree detent in it. So when I start at 0, and see there's none there at 15, but there's one at 30. But then there's 45, 60, 65, oh sorry, 75, 90, 105, 120, 135, 150. But yeah, between 150 and 180, there's not a little detent there. And between 330, the only place it doesn't work is 150 and 180 and 0 to 30. So I don't know, I might pop this apart and just have a look and see what's going on there. The centre hole does 180, so if you're doing a drill or a 2-flute cutter or something like that, it goes 180 turns, or 182 detent. Then this one here, it just spins around for indexing. And I've been having a fiddle with this. Not much of a fiddle, I haven't had time just yet, but I thought that might be an interesting thing to make something and set this up on the milling machine. You know, as a indexing head. But I do have a rotary table, but there's no real need. But I just thought for someone that bought one of these, if they didn't want to go to the expense of a rotary table, there's quite a lot of capers you could do for the smaller stuff on this, particularly when it takes 5C collets. And 5C collets, look, I think they'll hold up to, we'll be inching a 16th or something like that, I think. So anyway, I'll still have to unpack the drill sharpening and the end mill pieces, and they give us a spare belt and a couple of mighty fine screwdrivers, and we have a drilling attachment here, so I do have to get all this apart yet. There's a spare stone, an 80 grit stone. It's 100mm by 50. That looks like about 13 wide, and on it comes with a diamond stone on it. So I'm a bit keen to have a bit of a play with this. Just as you get a new toy, I've ordered quite a few steel blanks, just round HSS blanks to practice on, just the Chinese HSS. You know, you can buy bits for a few bucks a piece, so I've ordered a few different sizes just to get a feel for it and do a bit of learning and all that. I did watch one clip on YouTube on the grinder, and a fella, I think it was a tool and die guy possibly, and he said rather than get the rounds and split them in half to do a little D tool, you could buy the carbide already in half at the end. It saved you a lot of grinding. But look, I had a look around, I couldn't find them, so anyone knows where to get that, give us a yell. And anyone in Australia that has a supplier for the round carbide, I wouldn't mind a link to that too if you have it available. I had a quick look the other day, but like I say, I haven't had time to have a great look at this, but I googled it the other day. I could find a few bits of round high-speed steel. I didn't seem to be able to find any M42 chrome, or M42 with cobalt in it, and I didn't seem to be able to find the round carbide. So, but I'll have a better look. But if you have a supply for that you'd like to put forward, yeah, look, put it in the comments down below on the clip, please. I would like to see it. So, but yeah, you also get an instruction manual, TMU3 universal D-bit grinder, 240 volt, 1 horsepower, and first click on you have a light, and second click you have the grinder. Now it's nice and smooth, so I'm very happy with that. Yeah, I've just got to have a fiddle and learn my way around about it. And I followed Stefan's tip, and he said look up the Deckel SO grinder, and there was an operating instruction there, and it's quite a bit more comprehensive than the one that comes with it on like grinding an end cutting edge, grinding the back rake angle on a little D bit that you're making for a particular job. So that'll be a good thing. We'll have a bit of a play with this, but as yet we've got it here and we haven't had a chance to have a play with it. Got a little diamond for dressing the white stone, and yeah, you can lock the spindle. There's a little hole here where you can lock the spindle here to get the stones off, and they give you a little spanner to pop up the end. So look, I'll probably have a bit of a learn on this thing, and yeah, I'll do a few test runs, and it might be interesting for those who haven't got one, or those that do have one can say, you silly bastard, don't do it like that. I can handle that. But yeah, so 1,500 bucks, fair bit of money. But Bruce and John Creasy and a few of the blokes that have them, they reckon they love them. Yeah, they find it a very useful thing for their small home workshops. And that's all I have here really. And so anyway, that's it. Nice purchase. But look, what we'll do for the moment, I'm keen to get one of these in a drill. I'll set it up in the vise here. We'll do a bit of a run through and we'll just see what sort of thread we get out of it, eh? Okay, new battery. Let's have another go. And that's a screwdriver, so that's why it's got the hammer, so that's probably not what we're best to do, but the others are all at work. Well, it's not a bad thread, it's a little bit, I suppose they've got them a loose fit, but that's certainly quick, isn't it? So I'd say that's what we'll be doing with the battery box. I do have nylock nuts for the back as well, but I thought I'd just go through the battery box and pop a nylock nut in the back of it, but just so we haven't got tension. Because it's a plastic box, well, we haven't got a lot of tension there. So there you go. These things, I reckon they're alright. Put them in a proper drill though.